What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel for another Football Manager 2021 rebuild challenge. And today we are taking control of Ajax to return them to their former Champions League glory. Now, they have an abundance of brilliant youngsters that I'm going to try and use as much as humanly possible as we try and take them back to winning a Champions League title. I'm going to set myself 5 years. Can we do it? Let's jump in and find out. So guys, before we get into things, I just want to give a massive shout out to everyone who has joined the channel in the past week. You will see their names scrolling along the bottom of the screen right now. This is everyone who's joined the channel over the past week, and I cannot thank you guys enough. We are booming right now just before the start of FM22, and that is all down to you guys and your brilliant support. I never thought that I would get to a point where this is the channel is as big as it is, and I know I'm not one of the biggest creators on the platform, but the support that you guys show me week in, week out on comments, liking videos, is just absolutely brilliant. So I just wanted to say thank you to those guys, and let's make a start on today's video. So the idea of this video is to take control of Dutch giants Ajax. Now, I know I've done in rebuilds in the past that the leagues have been the priority, and progressing up the league and winning stuff there, that's not really the issue with Ajax. They are dominant in Holland, and the challenge is going to be to take them to Champions League glory. If we jump into things, then this is the club that we are in charge of. We are already at Ajax, and let's take a look at their overall history. As I said, league campaigns not really going to be an issue for us, but what we are trying to replicate are these 4 Champions League trophies. Obviously, they had an absolutely breathtaking spell in the 70s, winning 3 on the spin in 71, 72, 73, and then most recently in 1999. And that team had a ridiculous number of people, guys, ridiculous number of players. They're absolutely sensational players that have come through. They've also won a European Cup Winners' Cup as well in 87. They've also won a Europa League in 1992 and 2 European Super Cups as well. So there is a lot of European pedigree here. So being able to add to one of these trophies, either the Europa League or the Champions League. Obviously, they had a nice little run a few seasons back where I believe they got to the semi-finals before getting gutted when De Jong and De Ligt left, amongst a few others. So that is the goal of today's video, is to return Ajax to Champions League glory. We are about to start the first season. So I'm going to run through the club vision first and foremost. So the club culture is play attacking football, develop players using the club's youth system, which comes as no surprise, and play entertaining football. They want me to work within the wage budget, which is absolutely fine. And they want a first round knockout in the Champions League and to win the Eredivisie. No mean feat winning the league, but you'd like to think a club the size of Ajax would be pretty able to do that. If we go into the finances though, guys, this is what shocked me, probably because of all the transfers that have happened in and out. Ajax are actually in a very strong place. 45.5 million to start is the starting budget. Is absolutely crazy, especially considering some of the budgets that we have in the first years. We've got a bank loan here of 6.5 million. That'll be gone by the end of, it says payable until 2025. I'd like to kind of overpay on that and get it gone sooner rather than later. So the finances are absolutely smashing it. Obviously, these are the competitions that we are in. Eredivisie, Friendly Cup, it doesn't really matter. Champions League, and then the Dutch Cup. So we will have some challenges with balancing cup competitions and obviously winning in the league and stuff like that. In terms of the tactic that we are going to run, we are going with the GYRFM striker on strike. And this is mainly because I don't rate any of the strikers that are at Ajax. Sorry, Sebastian Haller and Lassana Traore. You're not it for me, unfortunately. So this is what we're running. It's a sweeper keeper, inverted wing backs, 2 centre backs, DLP, inverted wingers on both sides, advanced playmaker, and then 2 shadow strikers. Now, there are a couple of players in here that I will be looking to get a lot of game time out of. One of them being 17-year-old Nasi Univar. I'm just going to promote him straight to the first team. He's come from the academy. He is a monster in this game if you get his development right. and I want to get his development right by just playing him in as many games as possible. He is more of a playmaker there rather than a shadow striker, so I'm going to train him as a shadow striker, and hopefully he can sort of develop those sort of clinical finishing instincts. He's got decent enough finishing and composure, to be honest, but it's some of the other stuff that we will need to work on. But he's only 17, he's good on both feet. Looks like he will be a promising player for us. Someone else who I feel will also make a large amount of game time for us is this young man here, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 𝙈𝙚. Now, I've had him in many saves before. This guy's a monster. Just give him game time and he will become one of the best central midfielders in the world. He's 6'3", he can kind of do a bit of everything, and he will get a lot of game time for us this season, probably ahead of 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 at central midfield. So what I probably will do when I get to simulating is clear the team and clear the entire team selection. There we go. So what I will probably do, guys, is where are they 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 𝙈𝙗𝙤𝙪. I will probably stick him in there, and then 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, I'm going to put him there. And this is how I will probably simulate this first season, guys, to make sure that 𝘼𝙤𝙪 and 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 get all the game time. As you can see, 𝘼𝙗𝙪 is only 1.5 stars at present, and I kind of want him to get as much game time as humanly possible, to develop as much as humanly possible. In terms of the transfers, guys, we've just sort of revamped the lineup anyway. In terms of players, we've not really done anything. Donny van de Beek's gone. Obviously, he's at Arsenal. He's at Manchester United. These are all the bits of business that were done before we got to the club. I doubt I will add anybody to it. I think I always want to see first season how we do get on, to see what improvements and what changes we need to do within the certain tactics. So that's kind of where we're gonna go. Very interested to see how this tactic works. It was an absolute monster when it first came out. I will leave a link to it down below, and obviously go and show Gareth some love. He is a absolutely brilliant tactical genius, so please do go and show him some love as well. He is the originator of the tactic. You can find it on the FM Scout website as well, guys. So I'm going to simulate this first season, and fingers crossed this youthful lineup can drag us to an Eredivisie title and also a good run in the Champions League. I'll be back in a sec. So guys, I'm just going to get right into it. At the end of season 1, as you can see on the left, we have dominated the Eredivisie. 91 points in total, winning 29 games, drawing 4, and losing just once to PEC Zwolle. I'm not 100% sure how you say that. I'm sure the Dutch people on the channel will let me know down in the comments. After that, though, knocked out in the quarterfinals of the Dutch Cup by FC21. That is actually a very poor showing, to be perfectly honest. And then Champions League, knocked out in the first knockout round by Inter Milan. Obviously, the first knockout round is where we wanted to get to. It's where the board expected us to get to, but I'm sure they're pretty upset that we didn't do anything in terms of the domestic cup. Going out in the semi-final is quite poor. In terms of the Champions League, though, this is the one we are here to win. This is actually a really tough group, to be honest, guys. PSG and Chelsea and Gladbach, I think, to go through in second. Pretty positive. We got 2 wins. We beat Chelsea and Gladbach 3 and 4-0, actually. Big results. We drew away to PSG and then lost to Gladbach and PSG at home and Chelsea away. Not the best results, but we did go through in second. And then in the knockout stages, that is where Inter Milan come up, and let's have a look at things. So we lost 4-0 at home, and we went out 4-2 on aggregate, which is really, really disappointing. If we expand this up a second, let me tidy some of these screens up so we can see the lineup and see how things did progress. Because I am very interested, but obviously we know Inter Milan are very, very good this year. So if we go into the formations, they're playing a 5-back. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪's had a stinker, but to be perfectly honest, it's not really gone well for us. Oh, the 4-0 was away from home. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. I thought we'd lost 4-0 at home then. Not a good performance against Inter, but they've got Lautaro Martinez, Lukaku, obviously, Brozovic, Vidal, Sensi, Perisic. Hakimi's a monster on this game. They've signed Aya from Celtic. Great pickup, and Handanovic. That makes that defense very, very good, and I can see why we didn't score past it. Just out of curiosity, who did win the Champions League? Manchester City. beat Juve in the final 1-0. So in terms of the Eredivisie, we will expand this out a little bit. Let me show you the league table. Relatively confident for us. 98 goals scored, 22 goals conceded, best goal difference in the league by an absolute country mile. Absolutely, we cakewalked it as well. But the issue is going to be, how good can we be in terms of European competitions, based on the fact our domestic league doesn't earn as much money as some of the others. In terms of transfers coming in, guys, I'm going to talk about 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 𝙈𝙚 in the next portion of the video, but he will be joining us from Manchester City to kind of shore up this defensive line. I will talk about 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪. He's gone up to a 2-star, 2.5-star current ability player at the age of 17, just through sheer game time. In his career, as you can see, 45 appearances for us, 14 goals and 8 assists. It's not the best season, but remember, he is only 17 years of age. And Ryan Gravenberch did pretty well as well. 45 appearances for him, 9 goals, 22 assists. He played a little bit better in that advanced playmaker role, and he is now a 3.5-star player, aged 19. So it is summer transfer window time. Season 1 wasn't too bad. Picking up a domestic trophy is fine. Winning the league is great. Now it is just time to strengthen and try and have another run at the Champions League. So guys, we are back for the start of season 2. As you can see, the Eredivisie starts in just 3 days. We enter the group stage of the Champions League, so we don't need to worry about that. The Dutch Cup has already we will enter much later into the competition. But I will say we've already played the Super Cup and we won 3-0. We took on FC21, who were obviously the cup holders, and we dominated them. We beat them 3-0. As you can see, Gravenberch and 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 in the squad as well. No signings, oh, just one signing in the starting 11. I wonder if you guys can see him here. But let's move things back and talk signings first of all. So we've already picked up our first bit of silverware without really anything happening. So transfers. We did make 2 signings. As you can see, there's quite a lot of outgoings. AJAX just produce a ridiculous amount of players. So there's a lot here that, whilst if I was doing a longer term save or wanted to promote a lot of Dutch players into the team, I would have kept. But we're here for success. We're here for Champions League success. And I don't know if I would have been 100% able to do that. So we signed 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 𝙈𝙚. He comes in on a free transfer. Obviously, his contract was up at the end of the season with Manchester City. He's going to be our leading centre-back. He is going to be a beast for us, I like to think. Even if he just stays for a season or 2, being able to sell him for a decent chunk of change at the end of that spell. I can't do a comparison with him, annoyingly. That's really irritating. Coach summary, yeah, squad comparison as a centre-back. He's our best centre-back over Edson Alvarez by a decent chalk. Daley Blind there in third as well. He's got great personality, to be perfectly honest. We also signed Ferranez, the goalkeeper, and there's a main reason why I did sign this guy, and that is because Andre Onana is actually suspended. If you've played FM this year, you will know about Onana's suspension. He is suspended until the 5th of February 2022, and that is a global ban. It just says he's suspended because of a red card. I think it was, I can't actually remember why he's suspended, to be perfectly honest, but it's a shame because he's an exceptional goalkeeper. We had Stekelenburg in goal last season and did all right, but he's not quite the Champions League quality goalkeeper that we do need to move things forward. So just the 2 signings in then. No other major outs. We did sell this guy Noah Lang to Club Brugge for a bit of money. We also sold Razvan Marin. I believe this one was already set up for me, but he leaves to join Cagliari in the Serie A. That was for 9.25 million. So yeah, we made a little bit of money. The finance is looking pretty good, as I've not spent much money. I've spent 1.9 million in 2 seasons. Not too bad at all. In terms of the tactic, guys, we're going to do very similar, to be honest. I think Gravenberch and 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 will need another season. Obviously, David Neres is an important player for us. But yeah, we've just got a few little options. I feel we've improved in terms of our goalkeeper. If we put Stekelenburg in there, drops down to a 2-star goalkeeper, whereas 3.5 on the other keeper that we signed is a big jump, to be perfectly honest. Obviously, we are going to have a nice little run at the Eredivisie, but the Champions League is where it's at. I'll be back at the end of season 2, and hopefully we've picked up some more silverware. So the end of season 2 is here, and this is a little bit more like it, I suppose. We win the Eredivisie for the second straight season, but definitely a much closer fought contest this year. PSV pushing us pretty close, actually, only winning by 2 points. Knocked out in the first round of the Champions League by Manchester City. Looks like we're kind of going to come up against some big sides in this first knockout round. So fingers crossed one time we can get past whoever comes first. And we are winners of the Dutch Cup. So let's have a look at the Dutch Cup. We took on AZ Alkmaar in the final, winning it 2-0, and 2 goals from youngster 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪. He looks like he's developed into a little bit more of a prospect this season. 21 goals for him is a very high goal return. What is he unhappy with the manager's tactics? He probably wants to play on the left rather than a central attacking midfielder, but don't worry about it, Nassi. You'll be all right. We did sign some players, and obviously Onana comes back halfway through this season. You will see a big player in here. So let's go and talk about that. In terms of our transfer history, guys, we did bring in 2 players in January. Antonio Rudiger was transfer listed by Chelsea, so we picked him up for 5.75 million. I think he really helps us in terms of our physical presence at the back. He's been a very good player for us with that 7.38 rating. He's a physical monster. He's consistent. He likes big matches. We love to see all of these things. And has been a very good presence for us. And we also signed Lazaro, who was transfer listed by Inter. He can play right back, he can play on that right midfield spot, so he covers 2 spots for us. He's not played a great deal, but he is a very good cover option. And I know what you're going to say, Steve, you paid £8 million for a cover option. Yes, I did. Yep, I like depth. What can I say? So in terms of the competitions, let's expand the Eredivisie. Obviously, we've won it another year in a row. We open up the league table, and as I said, much more hard fought than last year. Last year we had 91 points. This year, not so good. Just the 85 points there. 105 goals scored, though. We did very well in front of goal, but we did lose 3 games, which are very disappointing. We lost to our feeder club as well, Sparta Rotterdam, which is just disgusting. 4 draws in there and 27 wins, very much pushed close by PSV. If we go over to the profile, as you can see, this is why Donald Marlin is the top goal scorer and the highest average rated player in the Eredivisie. And then we've got 𝘼𝙗𝙤. If I could sign one of these 2 guys, I think it would be fantastic and convert them into a shadow striker. But I have a feeling that I would have to pay double the price pretty much for these players, because they would be coming from league rivals. Says he's transfer listed for 40 million. There's no shot we're getting 𝘼𝙗𝙤 for 40 mil. And Donald Marlin has already left. He's gone to join Real Madrid. How much did he go for, just out of curiosity? 45 million. Yeah, no shot we were getting him for 45 in division, is there? In terms of the competitions, though, guys, out of the Champions League, again, in that first knockout round, let's have a look at our group this time, see if it was any better. Manchester United, Krasnodar, and Club Brugge. That is a easier group. We picked up 4 victories. We beat Club Brugge and Krasnodar both times, but unfortunately lost to Manchester United both times. That is no real surprise there. So then we go through into the first knockout round, and we took on Manchester City, and we lose on penalties after a 1-1 draw. So we must have played the first game at home and won 1-0. We then play the second game at the Etihad, and Man City win that game 1-0 and then win on penalties. Hell of a penalty shootout by the looks of things. Alaba, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, and is that Ferran Torres? I assume it is Ferran Torres, all missing penalties for Man City. Unfortunately, quite a few of our players missed as well. But when you're getting into Rudiger taking pens, that's probably why. Look at this Man City team, by the way. Ederson, Kimmich. This back 5 is ludicrous. Ederson, Kimmich, Diaz, Laporte, Alaba. Disgusting. Good midfield as well. They've signed Youri Tielemans. Crazy what Pep's got to work with, isn't it? Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so we go out there. Has the Champions League final been played? It has. The team that beat us in the group, Wolfsburg, in the final of the Champions League. Crazy. Manchester United did win the Champions League this year, though, so not actually too worried about losing to them in the group stage if they are good enough to win the entire competition. So it is time for the summer transfer window before season number 3. Can we strengthen? Can we get past that first knockout round of the Champions League? I'll be back in a sec. So then, guys, we've definitely strengthened for season number 3. We've brought in, actually, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 on a free transfer. His contract was up at Leicester and we've signed him. I want him to play as a shadow striker. I think he's got the finishing and the physical abilities to be a really, really good shadow striker for us. He's valued at 21 million and we picked him up for free. I think that's a ludicrous pickup. He's already played one game for us in the Dutch Super Cup. I'll go over that in a second, but he's got a goal and an assist in that one competitive game for us, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I'm looking forward to him being a good player for us. Sandro Tonali was a free transfer, and I know what you're going to say, guys. Steve, you sign the same players over and over, but if Tonali's there for a free transfer, I think you have to, the way you have to think about this, right? He's left Brescia, who are currently, I don't have them loaded in, but they're in Serie B. So he's left Serie B for a team that are in the knockout stages of the Champions League. Now, I know Ajax aren't as big as some of the teams in Italy anymore. I'm sorry, Ajax fans. You know what I'm trying to say here, but he's still going to make that move, isn't he? So I know some of you guys say, oh, some of these players wouldn't come to the clubs that you're managing at, and I disagree. I think Tonali would make this sort of move if he wasn't picked up by a team in Italy. No one was in for him at the time. His contract was up at Brescia. Didn't want to stay in Serie B, so we signed him. Here he is. He looks like a beast. And we've also signed Dodo, the right back from Shakhtar, Brazilian right back, offering a little bit more cover in that right back spot. It's an area that I felt that we were weak. We've got Tagliafico on the left hand side, and now we've got Dodo on the right hand side to sort of balance things out. Usually this guy goes to Liverpool, so I don't understand why Liverpool haven't signed him this year. Obviously competitions and stuff stay relatively similar. Club Vision are a little bit pissed off with me about the finances selling some players, but in terms of the financial aspect, the signing of Tonali on a free is probably going to outweigh it. So they've changed my current season expectations. We now need to grow the club's reputation, which is fine. We are currently on course to do that. Optimistic about the progress you are making towards improving the club's reputation. First knockout round for the Champions League again, win the Eredivisie, and then the Super Cup they've said is not important. So that's going to be interesting. And we also need to maintain the club status as the most reputable team in Holland, which by performing in these European competitions should be relatively straightforward, to be perfectly honest. Obviously, the competitions are here. Eredivisie, Champions League, Dutch Cup, and then the Super Cup. The reason I play the Super Cup, guys, is because it is in the middle of pre-season. So I just played the game. Well, I say played the game. I instant resulted the game, and we beat PSV 7-0. Tonali scored, Anthony got 3, Nacional got 2, and 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 got 1. We absolutely wiped the floor with PSV. So I think this could be a big year for us. It's a very, very positive start. As you can see through pre-season, we played pretty well, winning all of our games except from the game against RB Leipzig, which isn't the end of the world. It's all fitness at the end of the day. But we need to try and make stamp our authority on the Eredivisie. It was a bit too close for comfort last season, so hopefully we can move forward and actually progress that a little bit more. I've just noticed that the Eredivisie is actually behind the Russian Premier League in terms of competition reputation, which is just not good. So we will be trying to improve the Eredivisie by going further and further in the Champions League. Obviously, we enter at the group stage as being champions of Holland. Can we go a little bit further in season 3? Let's find out. Okay. So this is much more what you love to see. We've won the league again by 22 points over Feyenoord. Much better performance, I think, from us. The Friendly Cup, obviously, please discount that as pre-season, isn't it? Champions League, though, knocked out in the semi-finals by Manchester United. Obviously, they won the competition the season before, so seeing Manchester United in the semi-final is a bit of an issue for us, to be perfectly honest. But we unfortunately got knocked out in the semi-finals. But it's definitely we've got past that first initial knockout round. But unfortunately, we did concede the Dutch Cup, knocked out in the quarterfinals by PSV. Let's expand things a little bit. Let's look at the Eredivisie first and foremost. As you can see, guys, 100 goals scored again. Not the highest point return. 3 losses. Not too bad. 2 draws and then 29 wins. Relatively comfortable, as I said. Feyenoord, the next best team, with 9 losses on the season. PSV securing that Europa League 2 spot. This looks like it's a little bit of a mess, but it's ourselves and Feyenoord going into the Champions League for the next season. Competition wise, there we look at the Dutch Cup. We lose in extra time to PSV here. Cody Gakpo, has he come back on loan from Man? Oh no, that's not the guy who's it. I'm thinking of Jaden Braff, the guy who's at Man City. Gakpo looks like a good little player, to be honest. Looks like he's had a good season as well. 17 goals from wide positions, pretty good. But they get the job done in extra time. Their defense holding strong. And we were unable to break them down. Okay, let's have a look at the Champions League then. Let's adjust this filter just to look at the Champions League. So we had Champions League Group D, ourselves, AC Milan, Sporting and Dinamo. We go through with 12 points. We did pick up 2 losses away at Milan and away at Sporting, but we beat everybody else, which is pretty good. Can't argue with that. Beating Milan at home, beating Sporting at home, going through relatively comfortably, going through top of the group, which would be interesting to see if that has made a difference. No. So in the first knockout round, we took on Liverpool. We drew 1-1 at Anfield. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 and 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 scoring the goals. Dutch Supremos, both ends of the field. And then we absolutely thumped Liverpool 5-2 at the 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 Arena. What? Liverpool are class in this game. But 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 doing the business. Again, hat-trick in this game. VVD own goal, Eric Garcia got one. It looks like Liverpool were pushing towards the end because we scored in the 84th, 87th, and then the 91st minute. Absolutely crazy. We then took on Man City in the Champions League quarterfinals, losing 1-0 at the Etihad. Christos Tholis scoring the goal for Man City. Looks like they've strengthened a little bit more. Then we bring them back to the 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 Arena and we absolutely batter them 4-0. Kudus, Rudiger with 2, and Klaassen again. Looks like he's come up trumps in the Champions League. He's not actually a player I thought would score a lot of goals for us, but on this Champions League run, he's done absolutely swimmingly. We then take on Manchester United. We beat them 2-0 at home. Looks like the 𝘼𝙗𝙪 Arena is a little bit of a fortress for us, but then unfortunately we go to Old Trafford and we lose 3-0. Goals from Paul Pogba, Marcus Rashford, and that man Boadu again, doing the business. It's always disappointing when you concede no shot they've got him for 26. I know it could rise to 38, but I tried to sign Boadu, right? And even though he had a transfer fee, not transfer fee, what am I thinking of? Asking price, there you go. Even though we had an asking price, they still want, of 40 million, they still wanted 120 just because we are Ajax. Not good. So Manchester United go through. Has the final happened? No. So PSG versus Manchester United in the final. If United win, it'll be back-to-back Champions Leagues for them. So again, being knocked out by them in the semi-final stage is not the end of the world. We are progressing. This is our first season past the first knockout rounds. So we are definitely improving things at the club each and every time. So let's move on. Season 4. I'll be back for that in a sec. Transfers are in for season 4. We have managed to pick up Renato Sanchez from Lille on a free transfer. This guy is a beast, a box-to-box beast. If you've ever played FIFA, you know how good this guy is. Absolute monster. Was pretty good for Portugal when they won the Euros from memory. Pretty sure that was when that was. But yeah, good box-to-box midfielders. What I brought him in here to be, I brought him in to be a workhorse, and I think that's exactly what he's going to be. His physicals are up the wazoo. He's a monster. I just want him to cover ground. He's a world-class midfielder. His contract was up with Lille, so we signed him on a free transfer. He's been very, very good in this save so far over in France, so hopefully that can translate, and he can have a very good year for us in the Eredivisie. We've also signed a 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪. He is actually a Manchester City player, the former PSV man. He can play anywhere, pretty much anywhere in the midfield, to be honest. We brought him in on loan. I think he could be a good little player for us to sort of play in a number of positions. Man City signed him for free from PSV and then just loaned him out the following season, having only made 2 appearances for Man City in the Premier League. So they are the 2 main signings that we've made. In terms of our tactic and stuff, guys, I do need to show you Nassi Unava. He's doing pretty well. He is growing quite nicely. He's now a 3-star player, age 20, doing pretty well. Passing good, developing quite nicely. Great technique on the guy, good dribbling abilities. He's listed as a wonder kid now, but I'm sure it will be only a matter of time until he actually gets tapped up by what I'm going to call a giant. I think a Man City, a Chelsea, a Manchester United will come after him eventually, but we shall see. Gravenberch is currently out of contract. I need to sort that out. He's unfortunately developing okay, but not as nicely as I would like. Not really playing as many games as you would like after the first 2 seasons. Definitely didn't really play much last season. I think it was because he broke his leg. Did he break his leg? He's broken his leg twice, poor guy. Out for 6 months, comes back, breaks it again, out for 5 months. Absolute ridiculousness. Absolutely ridiculous. But this is kind of what we're looking for with the team. Onana's back, obviously, from his suspension. Came back through after season 2. Dodo, Rudiger, Garcia, Tagliafico, Tonali, David Neres, Sanchez, Univar, Kudus, who's actually been pretty good for us, actually, alongside 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪. He's actually returned double figures in every season so far in terms of goals. 10 goals, 20 goals, 15 goals. 15 goals in 21 appearances. Not too bad at all. Very, very good performance from him in the Eredivisie. Obviously, competitions are much the same as every year. We've played the Super Cup already because it is part of pre-season. And we beat Utrecht 3-0. Kudus, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 and Dusan Tadic getting the job done. We're definitely a much more solid outfit now. We've got a higher caliber of players. We finished in the semi-finals of the Champions League last season. Can we go one step further? Can we make a final? Is that possible? Who knows? Obviously, everything still stayed. Grow the club's reputation is saying I failed, but it also says we are pleased that the club's reputation is improving strongly. So to be honest, I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what is going on. On the transfer fees on the way out, Lisandro Martinez is gone. Sebastian Haller's gone as well. So nothing too major to report. A couple of other players leaving as well, but lower level players who wouldn't break into the first team, unfortunately. So season 4, we're ready to get it. Let's move in and see how we get on. Right. This hasn't gone according to plan. We've had the strongest team, in my opinion, the strongest team that we've had so far. And we've come second in the Eredivisie, and second by an absolute mile. Feyenoord have won the league with 91 points. They only lost once all season. That wasn't even to us. They drew 4 times. None of them were to us. That means they've beaten us twice, which is disgusting. We've lost 5 times. Yeah, they beat us 2-0 and 1-0. So we didn't even score past them. That's absolutely abysmal. They win the Eredivisie for the first time in a while, since 2016, 2017. League table, let's expand it. Stages, league table. We outscored them. They just didn't concede any goals, which is difficult to lose games if you don't concede goals. We conceded 28. I think 28 is our 27 the season before, 21 the season before, and 26 the season before that. So this is our worst goal conceding season so far, is season 4. And I think we need a change. Got no one near the top of the goal scoring charts. We've got Kudus down here with 11. Lars Otten. This guy looks like a monster. We're going to have to look at this guy. Lars Otten at Sparta Rotterdam. What has he got in here? 29 million release clause. He looks quite nice, Lars Otten. Maybe we can have a look at him. This has not been a good season for us, though, guys. Knocked out in the semi-finals of the Dutch Cup as well. To the team that lost to PSV in the final 2-0. Didn't even put up a fight, really. We were the better team, but we only had 2 shots on target, so deserved to lose. The whole forward line having an absolute stinker. Not good. Champions League. PSG beat Manchester United in the season before, but Manchester United make their 3rd final in a row, and they are about to take on Chelsea. Who did I just see Haaland's playing for? Haaland's at Liverpool, guys. Gross. He scored 13 goals in the Champions League. Obviously, the Champions League, we were in Group B with Real Madrid, Lazio and Hertha. Another difficult group we go through. I'd like to think in some of these seasons, if we'd not gone through, if we'd have dropped into the Europa League, we would have won a Europa League by now. But unfortunately not to be. We go through 3 wins. We beat every team once. Hertha and Real Madrid at home and Lazio away. We drew away at Hertha and then lost at home to Lazio and away at the Bernabeu to Real Madrid. In terms of some other transfers, guys, I need to speak to you about some of them. One of them. 2 of them? Let's talk to you about 2 of them. So we sold Nacional in January. I told you one of the big guys was going to come in, and Man City did come in, and they paid 47.5 million for him. He wanted to leave. He was extremely interested. He's gone to Manchester City and barely played a lick, but wish him all the best. So we've strengthened. We went and bought Pedro Goncalves is how I'm going to say this guy's name. I'm sure I've butchered it. Apologies there. I'm sure I've butchered that. So hopefully he can have a good season with us next season. And obviously we paid some money to Sporting for his services, 30 million. He did okay since he come in. 7.13 average rating in the Eredivisie, 7 goals, 3 assists, not too bad. But we've also spunked a lot of money on Jack Grealish, 65 million. Now I bought Jack Grealish because he can play 3 of the positions that I play in this tactic. He can play on that left midfield, he can play central midfield, and he can play attacking midfield. I actually think he's going to be pretty good for us. His finishing of 15 is really, really good. His off the balls 15, his good composure. He's not got good jumping reach, but I don't think I need him to. I'm intrigued. It looks like he's been pretty good for Villa all throughout the course of this save in the Premier League. He's played the last 2 seasons in the Championship. So the fact that we paid a £65 million fee for a Championship player makes me sick. I wasn't paying attention to that. But he's been pretty good. 6 goals, 9 assists, 3 player of the matches, 7.34 rating for us since signing in January. Obviously, when you sell someone like Unava, you have some money to spend. So I did. I just went out and spent it. But I think we really need to have a long, hard look at ourselves in the summer, because this is not good enough. We've got 62 million in the budget still. The overall balance of the club is really healthy. That debt is completely gone now, the one that was in the club. It wasn't a lot anyway, but it's now completely gone. So we just need to start winning stuff again. Very, very poor season for us, only picking up the Dutch Super Cup, which just isn't good enough. I'm surprised I still have a job, to be perfectly honest. I need to have a think, guys. We're going to do one more season. This is my 5th and final season. I'm going to throw everything I've got at it. We may have to change the tactic, though. Right then, guys, I've been incredibly busy in these transfer windows. So I'm going to talk to you about what I've done. Obviously, some of these players I've signed relatively quickly after the season was over, so that's why they're appearing in last season's transfers. We've signed Jesus Corona from Liverpool on a free transfer, Stefano Sensi from Inter, free transfer, Pedro Porro from Man City, free transfer, Rodrigo de Paul from Udinese, free transfer, Joshua Zirkzee, the Dutchman, we brought him back from Bayern for 1.7 million. We spent 35 million on Gabriel Barbosa. Now I'm hoping this guy can be an absolute driller for us. He scores goals left, right and center in this game, and this is actually the first time that I've actually managed to use him in a save. I've never touched him before. I just know he's really good. So he's sold by Flamenco to Barcelona for 14 million or 14.25, and he's been all right actually. Goal scoring decent levels in Spain. We spent 35 million on him, and I'm hoping he can be a thorn in the side of a lot of teams. I've also bought him for the fact I think he's a bit of a big game player. Very good technically, good penalty taking. I think he can be a very good player for us. We also spent loads of money on Anthony Martial. He was transfer listed for 60 million by Manchester United, and the reason I bought Martial is, I will go over it in a sec. We're changing formation, guys. We're going for a 4-2-3-1 for this final season. And I think we need that striker at the top of the field who's good, who's fast, who can put the ball in the back of the net. And Martial was transfer listed, and I had a wedge of money burning a hole in my pocket. I've still got 21 million. So we've really pulled things out this season. And as you can see, some of the names in here are actual real players, like Martial, Barbosa, De Paul. I actually think this is a great pickup for a free transfer. Can play all sorts of positions, and I think he looks great. His positioning needs some work, but we can deal with that. So this is the tactic that we're going for. As I said, we're going to a 4-2-3-1 just for this final season, and this is kind of where we're looking at without restriction. If we pick the best 11, this is what we've got. Oh yeah, forgot to mention Rudiger's gone. We sold Rudiger and we replaced him with this guy, Valery Bondar. He comes in from Dynamo Kiev. Looks decent. I sold Rudiger, brought this guy in. I think it was a good little pickup. So this is the team going into season number 5, the 5th and final season that we are going to run in this save. So we've got Onana in goal, Dodo, Alvarez, Garcia, Tagliafico, Sanchez alongside Tonali. That is going to be brilliant in central midfield. Neres, Goncalves, Grealish, and Anthony Martial. I'm hoping that we can move things forward. Obviously, we've got a little bit more depth now. We've got Fernandes, we've got Mazraoui, DePaul, Anthony, Bodnar, Kudus, Barbosa, Blind, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 again, who we re-signed on loan, Iheanacho, Wrench, Klaassen, Tadic. We are deep. Look how deep this squad is. We have options left, right, and centre. It's gonna frustrate a lot of people, I'm sure, but this is my final roll of the dice. This is now the best team that I've had in this save. European trophy, please, let's go. So then, guys, I'm just going to come straight out with it. We've won the Champions League, season number 5. We are done and dusted. A much better performance, not a highest points return in terms of the league, but we've won the Champions League with Ajax. It is a historic treble for the club: league, Dutch Cup, and Champions League trophy as well. And if you've noticed at the bottom of the screen, Gabriel Barbosa. As I said, this is the first time managing him. 13 goals in the Champions League for Barbosa. That's the same amount that Holland scored last season. Shows you what a good player he is, and also what a good pickup he is. We managed to win the league by 15 points. That's by the by. Much better performance in the league. If we expand that league table, there you go. As you can see, 2 losses in the season, both to PEC as well. Again, I don't know why we keep losing to this team. It makes no sense. They're mid-table. We scored 115 goals, conceded 24, 91 goal difference, 90 points. It's not our highest points return. As I said, I think 91 was our highest points return, but we've won the league. We've won it back, reclaimed it from Feyenoord, which is great. In terms of the Dutch Cup, we were winners in the final. We placed Willem 2 and 4-0'd them. DePaul with 2, Tonali with 1, and Dodo with another one. As you can see, the 4-2-3-1 working much better this year. The striker list not necessarily cutting it in terms of things. Let's talk Champions League then. Let's set the filter like we've done before. Champions League. So we had to qualify because we weren't Dutch champions. So we beaten Krasnodar in the first qualifying round. It's third qualifying round. Then we had the playoff. We beat Basel 9-0 comfortably. We go into the Champions League Group B, again drawn with Manchester bloody United. And we go through in second, tied on points with Valencia, but we go through on goal difference. 3 victories, beat Galatasaray comfortably in both games and Valencia at home. We drew with Manchester United away at home, and then lost away to Valencia and both Manchester United. Not too bad though. We go through, then we take on Bayern Munich in the Champions League. Barbosa scored a hat-trick in both games. Wow, we go through 6-2 on aggregate, and Barbosa just says, get on my back. Don't worry, boys, I will carry you through. Has he scored in almost every game in the Champions League? Scored 2 against Valencia, scored 2 against Galatasaray, scored against Galatasaray again, hat-trick here, goal there. He didn't do it in the final, but he basically put us there. So the 6 goals for Barbosa against Bayern. We then take on PSG. We lose in Paris. Renato Sanchez does score an important away goal, though. Then we beat them 4-2 at home. So that's a nice victory for us in the quarterfinals. 2 corners, I assume. Edson Alvarez with 2 goals there, and David Neres being the one to put the final nail in the coffin. Manchester United in the semi-finals, 3-1 at the Johan Cruyff Arena. DePaul, Sandro Tonali, and Barbosa again. Greenwood with the goal for Manchester United. He's not as good as I've seen him look. Maybe he's not had as much game time as you would like. And then we go into the final. Juventus. Where was the final? In Germany, I think. Obviously, looking at this, the 4-2-3-1 has done the job. Alexandro, it looks like he's had an absolute stinker here. Anthony Martial with a hat-trick, and Jack Grealish, so Premier League players coming to the rescue of the Dutch Giants here. We only had 8 shots on target, and we scored 4 of them. Wojciech Szczesny, how old are you at this time? 35 years of age. Old. Bonucci, still playing. 38 years of age. Old. Yeah, they've not done very well here. Castagne's okay. Alexandro's had a stinker. the 4-4-2 is not the one. Who is Juventus manager, out of curiosity? It is still Pirlo. Unlucky. And also, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 is now a Juve player. How much did they pay for him? 29 million. They wouldn't let, annoyingly, Rotterdam wouldn't let me have him. But there we go. So, guys, this is the challenge done and dusted. We have won. Everyone's buzzing here. I'm only at a B. They're disappointed that I've not used players from the club's youth system. And my main two players that I wanted to use, Nacional came through and was sold because he wanted to leave to Manchester City. And then the other player is Ryan Gravenberch. Now, I'm going to touch on this. I've never seen a player get this injured in a save in my life. So we've played 5 years, right? This is his season history. The last 3 seasons, he's barely played football at all. And there's a reason for that. If we go into his injuries, you can see here, he's broken his leg once, broken his upper leg. So his femur, he's broken that once. Then he came back, broke his lower leg, and he's broken his bloody leg again. All in matches, and he's been out for so bloody long. He's had tight hamstrings. His legs are just a shambles. Pulled knee ligaments, pulled ankle ligaments, bruised thigh, tight groin, hamstring strain, bruised ankle, and then another broken leg. I've never seen such a young talent just get absolutely decimated by injuries in Football Manager. Let me know down in the comments if you've seen anything as stupid as this. So many injuries for just one player, and he can be such a good player. He still looks pretty good, but his development has just been hampered so much by the fact that he's just not been able to play football, which is a real shame. We've managed to return Champions League glory to Ajax though, which is fantastic. That is what the save was all about. But that is where I'm going to leave things for today, guys. Who would you like me to rebuild next time? Do let me know down in the comments section below. I do read all of them and I take all your suggestions into consideration. I love reading them. So hopefully we can pick one of your guys' suggestions for next episode. But that is it for today. If you have enjoyed today's video, don't forget to drop a like on it down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here, and ring that bell so you're told each and every time that we upload a video to the channel, because there's a lot coming before the start of FM22. Hopefully I'll see you on another video very soon, but until then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you again.